Hey guys, I'm back. I had a really good weekend, and if you haven't seen our makeup tutorial yet on Frank's channel, I basically put some makeup on him and I didn't do a great job, but he looks pretty in some ways. His eyelashes are really long, but yeah, so that's on his channel. And as I was walking out the door to go to my car, because if you're new to my channel, I have been filming videos in my car during my lunch break for work. So I was walking out and I was like, I kind of want to make a video about like letting go and just kind of moving on from things, because I think any personality can relate to this to some extent, but especially as an INFJ, I have found it difficult sometimes to move on. It's weird because like the stereotypical door slam, INFJ door slam, it's easy to just cut people off, but then at times it's hard, especially if there doesn't seem like there was closure to a certain extent. So for example, guys that I've liked in the past, I have 2 videos on my channel about unrequited love, and it really took me a long time to get over both of those guys. And it wasn't because we ever dated or anything like that, and for all I know, neither of them liked me. Again, we never dated, but it was hard. It was difficult because I still have a tiny place in my heart for those people, but it's not the same. It's not like, I'm longing to be with them or something like that. But it took a long time to get over those people. And there's certain situations that are hard to get over sometimes. And even like, I don't know, like, there's all different types of situations where it's like, oh, what could have been, or you kind of want to hold on to a certain feeling or a certain aspect of something, and you don't want to let it go. But I think there's a lot of joy and freedom in letting things go and moving on. In the situation, like, as I've said about the 2 guys that I liked, or even, in some ways it was harder with, like, exes or friends, that I'm not friends with anymore, because obviously I actually knew them. Sorry, I have cat hair in my eye. But I've gotten so much better over the years about getting over things, and I think it has to do with training your mind to realize that if someone isn't supposed to be in your life, or just something isn't meant to be, it's better to resolve it in your mind and just get over it, even if there isn't true closure. So for example, with those 2 guys that I liked, the first guy, I'm friends with both of them on Facebook, and who's to say, I don't know if they've ever watched any of my videos, but the first guy, it was like, he never really said anything to me about like not liking me. I mean, it's pretty obvious, but he never said, no, I'm not interested or something like that. And then the other guy, it was, even though that seemed like, and I still have a tendency to think that was a more mutual situation, he at least had the decency to say, hey, look, yeah, you need to just like stop or something. Even though actions later were a bit different on his side. At least I got some closure. But you don't always get closure with people. Just like the first guy, or just like friends that I've had in the past, or other people have had, where it's like you just wonder one day, oh, I haven't heard from this person in a while, and they're just kind of moving on with their life. And I feel like I've probably done that to people in my life unintentionally. But sometimes you just have to let people go. I think that there's a saying, it's like, I don't want to butcher it, but let me just think. It's like, people are in your life for a season, a reason, or a lifetime. And I think because it's beautiful fall right now, I don't know if you can see, whoa, my finger. I don't know if you can see, there's fall leaves in the background a little bit. It's true. People are in your life for a season, a reason, or a lifetime. Season meaning they're in your life for a period of time to teach you something. They're in your life to be with you for a certain season, and that doesn't mean like an actual season, like we're in autumn right now. It doesn't mean, for the full few months of autumn, that person's going to be in your life. That could be a year, that could be a month, that could be a few years, who knows? And there's always variations in between. And then a reason is those instances where it's not necessarily for an extended period of time, but people just pop up into your life for some reason, and maybe they kind of pop in and out of your life. So, for example, if we're thinking about like romantic situations, you may go on a date with someone, and maybe on that date you realize what you like in a partner. Maybe you find out what you don't like in a partner. Or you decide, oh, I think I'm going to go to a sculpting class, and you realize whether or not you like that. Even though the class isn't a person, I don't know how much this is making sense. Hopefully it does. But basically, you learn a lesson. And then, obviously, the last one, a lifetime, it means those are the people that are going to be in your life forever. You're going to have your ups and downs with those people, probably, but through everything, they're going to stick with you. So, typically, that's family, mostly. Like, for example, I have a younger sister. She's 2 years younger than me. And even though we're very different and we've gone into many fights in our life, and we haven't always liked each other, we're always going to be there for one another. I know that, I'll always have her in my life one way or the other. And that's not always the case with family, but I really do feel that way about my sister. Maybe I'm wrong, but I do think so. And even friends, like my friend, Rachel, well, I have a lot of friends named Rachel, but my best friend Rachel that I've referenced as an INTJ, I've been friends with her since 4th grade. We've never even really had a fight before. We've had disagreements, but we've never gotten into a fight. We haven't really, hated each other at any point in our friendship. And we've also changed so much since 4th grade. Since 9 or 10 years old, we've changed a lot, and we're continuing to change. She's about to have a baby. She's already gotten married, and she's about to have a baby. We both went to college. She moved out of the country. I moved across the country. So, the point is, you kind of have to put everybody through that filter. And it's easier said than done, especially in the moment, because, for example, I don't know, really, you can kind of tell sometimes with people, but for the most part, for every single person in my life, I don't know if they're really in there for a reason, a season, or a lifetime, but I can think, I can have that forethought to think maybe this is the case, and just kind of realizing that I personally think, and I know that not everybody thinks this way, and it's okay if you don't, but I really do think that everything happens for a reason. And I think that when you accept that, it's easier to let go of things. Because as I go back to the two guys that I liked when I was younger, both of these I was 15 with the first guy when I first started liking him, and I was 19 with the second guy when I first started liking that guy. And I'm 25 now, and it's been years since I've liked those guys. But it was hard. It was hard getting rid of those thoughts, that what if. But I really think that those people are in my life for a reason, and I learned a lot from both of those people, even though, again, we never had a relationship, and there really wasn't any super romantic things that happened, especially with the first guy. Like, that was just, that was a whole different situation. But even with the second guy, it wasn't like, we never even kissed or anything, but I learned things from both of them. With the first guy, I learned that I need to be more confident, because at the time I was very meek, and I became more confident out of that, and I grew as a person. It was, obviously, that was 10 years ago when I first started liking that guy, and I've changed astronomically since then. And who's to say that I met him in real life now, even though, again, we've been friends on Facebook for years, who's to say that I would even like him? I know with the second guy, when I saw him again, I don't know if I've ever talked about this, but when I saw the second guy again after years of never seeing him, I felt nothing for him. And it wasn't in, a mean way, like, oh, I don't, like, ooh, gross. It was, okay, I see you as you, but I have no feelings for you anymore. But I learned a lot from that guy. I looked up to him in many ways, because he was so many years older, and I also did things in college, because I met him when he was a senior. I did things in college that he recommended me do, like take certain classes, take certain professors. And I'm glad that I took that advice, because those professors, those classes were good, and I learned a lot from that. And even seeing, the things that he wanted to do, that the stuff that he told me he wanted to do when I first met him, and then he never did. But, the stuff that I told him I wanted to do, I ended up doing. Like, I remember telling him I wanted to go to China, and then, like, over a year later, I went to China. It's just, like, stuff like that. So, and I don't know. It's interesting. And even with friendships or family members, not really so much family members. I don't really have any estranged family members, but friendships, those aren't always going to last forever. Certain people come in and out of your life, especially in school. Or when you're traveling, you may make friends, and like I did Model UN, simulating the United Nations, and I met a lot of people from all over the world. Some of those people I saw again, and then some of them I haven't seen again. Who's to say I won't again? But it's really interesting. And going back to going to China, I met one of my best friends in China. She was going to the school that we were studying abroad at, and now she's, even though we don't talk every single day, I feel closer to her than some people that I've known a lot longer, or even, you know, she grew up in China, she's Chinese, and I related so much more to her than a lot of Americans I know. So, sorry that if this video is jumbled. It was just kind of something I was thinking about. And if you're holding on to something, if you're feeling down about something and your God is telling you to let it go, there's a reason for that. And maybe you have to put it through the filter of a reason, a season, or lifetime. And I can't tell you whether or not certain things are going to be that way. But you have to kind of determine that for yourself, and then feel the peace of letting go and moving on, even if it's not a permanent thing, because sometimes those situations or people come back into your lives. But at least for now, find peace with those situations. So I hope this video was helpful for anybody, and I hope it made sense. And again, you should check out Frank's video. It was really funny. I really tried to do his makeup, but I realized as we were filming the video, I'm like, I'm really not good at doing other people's makeup. And I also don't really use brushes, so it kind of was very interesting. But yeah, so I hope you guys have an amazing day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.